Recording in progress.
How you doing? Welcome. I'm Dr. Paul Dyer. Welcome to Talking About Human Lives. We were waiting for everything to come online, and I'll be right with you as soon as this live broadcast gets brought up and it starts registered. So, as you know, you can always reach me at Bridges Live. I'm Dr. Paul Dyer. You can always contact me on all the social medias at Dakota Dragon Defends or Dr. Paul Dyer, and I will pop up on your screen immediately. So one of the things here we're going to talk today is about human lives. Human lives are important. But more importantly, we need to talk about them. And I think talking about them is a lot different than actually going through them. So if you have any questions on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, you can always put it in the chat room. I probably won't get to it right as we speak because this is not about answering some of your questions. I'll answer them later or I'll inbox you or anything you have to do. I want to talk about human lives. Now, we know that we heard from the president that's been elected, and he has been talking about Afghanistan. Now, this is a very touchy subject for a lot of people because one of the things, it's a military issue. But it's not a military issue, it's a political issue. So let's get that out of the way. You cannot blame anything the military does, especially when it comes from when a political agenda is really off script. When you talk about boots on the ground and people on the ground and risking their lives to do a job, they have been confirmed and been honored to give and their lives to give to do the job as well as the best they can. It is not their fault. This is not about fault. This is about life. This conversation I have brought up to many people when we talk about Afghanistan or any occupied territory that the military has. This is the same conversation that happened in 1865, whether they shall allow black people to vote after, even if you free them. What is your agenda? What is your purpose? Your purpose is to stop something, but you have not thought about the ramifications that's going to affect our lives. Now, that was what the white people thought during 1865 when they were talking about passing the 13th Amendment. You know, if you're going to free these people, do you want them to vote? Are they going to be citizens? Are they going to be as equal as we are? This is an issue because one of the things that people have is not that humanitarian issues are a problem, is whether they are as equal as I am. Let me get that clear. After you have humanitarian issues, the question that really plagues people's mind is, after that, are we going to allow them into the United States, and will they have just as equal rights as I am? I think that's where the problem comes. We don't mind helping people, we just don't want them in our house. I've heard this before. You know, it depends on who you're dating. You're dating that certain woman, and you can be friends with them, but don't bring them home. You can date them, but don't get pregnant by them. You can hang out with them, but don't bring them into my house. Now, this type of philosophy, this type of thinking, has been ingrained in the fabric of the United States of society. This is not far-fetched, and this is not something that has gone away. This is something that keeps repeating itself even when we go to a country or a place like Afghanistan or anywhere. If we're going to go help them, just don't bring them home. If we're going to go do something, let them take care of it. Have you ever asked a friend if they can help you out because you're in a situation, maybe you're homeless? Well, I can help you pay for a hotel. I'm your friend, but I'm only a friend for up to a certain limit. Not everybody understands those limits or those expectations or those exceptions. That is what we call human condition. People have conditions on their purpose of how, what, and when they do. People have conditions, and when it's pushed, and when asked, they have a condition on how, what, and when they do. Why? You can ask yourself, do I have those conditions? You can ask yourself, have you ever made a New Year resolution? That's a condition. Have you ever said, I'm going to do this, wait and see? You've given yourself conditions to do something or to accomplish something. It's not about your purpose. It's not about your passion. Because passion, purpose, and love has no conditions, no expectations. Well, Dr. Paul, what about setting goals? Setting goals is not the same as having an expectation or a condition. It really isn't. It's actually a mental neurological difference. It actually works on different parts of the brain. But that's not my conversation here. Human lives. Human lives has been put on the chopping block for other people's priority and politics. More often politics than its priority. But it's never people. This is the issue we have. Whether it be education, whether it be wearing the damn mask, or getting the damn shot. Human lives. It's not about other lives. It's always about your life. And once you single out yourself as an individual in the collective group of humanity, you're going to only go back to the lower form of animal. Security, food, shelter, and safety. The lowest form of animal, that is all you're going to think about, is what I am, what I get, what I need, and what I can get. That's it. It's not about the human development of humanity. Once you start developing humanity, you rise above the lower form of animalistic thinking, the survival brain, the reptilian brain. But they keep you there on fear. Don't allow these kids in my school. Don't allow these people in my neighborhood. That's ingrained thinking. That is conditioned. Human lives. Afghanistan. Pick a place. Pick any place. Pick a purpose. Pick a politics. Pick a policy. Is human condition in there, or is human lives in there? Because they're not the same. So what I want to ask you and have a conversation with you, please start thinking about human lives and stop reacting on your human condition. Because humanity needs you to be part of it, not separated from it. There's a lot of policy that has nothing to do with the human life. There's a lot of politics that has nothing to do with human life and humanity. It has more to do with keeping a human condition moving in a certain way. Check yourself. You're probably being conditioned. But love, compassion, has no condition. I hope this reaches you. I hope this touches you. I hope you get to ask yourself the question. I took a little break. Now I'm back. We're going to be starting up with a lot more shows. You can always catch my podcast on iHeart, iTunes, and all that you get your podcast station. On my YouTube channel, Dr. Paul Dyer. You can always catch me on social media. And if you have any questions about any shows you would like to hear about, have more information about, remember every Wednesday we do You Be the Judge. We'll be going back to Mental Health Mondays and just interviews. And all Ask the Sarge with Sergeant James Spearman. We need to make a difference. We're going to build a better world. But we can only do this together if you recondition what you have been conditioned. Get out of the slave mind. Black men go vote. I'm Dr. Paul, and you guys have a great, great evening.